live Kona Coffee channel. Every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, we tend to do a coffee Q&A where we answer any kind of coffee questions that you might have. And I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back. We're still on the road today. And today we'll be talking about the Nespresso, right? So here's an espresso machine here. Here. This is a different type. I don't know what kind of machine this is. I think this uses pods. You can also fill it with coffee and brew with it. But today we're going to talk about this. This is the DeLonghi City Z machine. Mom, good morning to you as well. How are you doing? And but before we get into that, let's have some. What it needs to have is some accoutrement to go along with the espresso today, right? So I went by one of the local, Rusty, good morning to you as well. I went by one of the local bakeries here. There's a place in Baltimore called the Corner Pantry, and it's owned by a husband and wife team. The husband's originally from the United Kingdom, and they're bringing this whole United Kingdom style of food, breakfast, and lunch, right? And it's actually really nice. But I got a couple items here today from the restaurant, so I thought I'd share that with you. We've got a chocolate chip cookie. We've got their blueberry muffin. We've got their cheddar biscuit. And I got one of their crumpets, right? There's crumpets. And this is actually an interesting looking crumpet because it's, Dan, good morning to you. It's very different than any kind of crumpet that I've seen. I guess it's very similar to, crumpets as the way that it's made with a very airy batter, but it's super thick. Like, look how thick this is. This is way thicker than anything I've ever seen. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna make this up and give it a try. So what we're gonna take the biscuit, we're gonna put that in the oven while we're doing all this. I got the oven set. It's like 315 degrees. And then I got a little pan here, a nice all-clad that they have. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the crumpet first. And we're gonna do this, we're gonna prepare all this because, it's really simple to make coffee in the way with an espresso, right? That's the whole thing. An espresso is all about making coffee as convenience. So basically you take a pod, you put it in the machine, you hit the button, and it's good to go. So we're gonna prepare some stuff and have it ready for our tasting. So let's turn this on here. Uh-oh. Turn that on. We're going to bring that a little bit warm. Right? Doing a little bit of... Just get that here. So the crumpet is interesting. Like, let's cut it down. It's so thick. Like, normally they're only about that thick, but this is like almost 3 times the thickness. So let's slice into it. Now, not as airy as some crumpets that I've seen, and not as airy as, let's say, the Thomas's English Muffin, which are kind of based on this kind of thing, but it does have a nice, it's a very moist crumb on the inside, springy, right? So we're going to heat up the pan, and we need a little butter, a little tab of butter there. We're just gonna put that on. We're just gonna toast the crumpet. Could be a nice coating. Rusty's with us, the food service chef, the teacher chef. He's probably gonna be like, this is poor technique. So I'm just gonna put that down there, hold it down. We're just gonna griddle it this way. I probably would have had better results grilling it individually. But you know what? We're just gonna get it nice and soppy with the butter first. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll do it this way first. Do one. Whoops. Do one, and then we'll do the other. Pump up the heat just a little bit and let that do its thing. So how's everyone doing? How's your week been? Today's Friday, August 2nd. Can't believe we're almost to the end of the, well, we're past July, and now we're moving towards the end of the year. Okay, let that fry up a little bit. Hola to you, Peter, man. How's it going? I'm impatient. I feel impatient. So while that's cooking, let's go and have a look at what we have as our selection for today. So my brother has a whole like collection of Nespresso pods, and let's see what they have here for us to choose. We have Tokyo Lungo. I don't know what that's about. What else do we have here? We have Voluto. Don't know what that's about either. Capriccio. If any of these look familiar to you guys, I'd be interested to know a little bit more about them. Here, this one, Cossi, very French. Then we have these other brands. Oh, there's a couple. Well, yeah, there's these other brands. L'Or, I guess that means the gold espresso. Profondo, Ristretto. Rusty says, Amy's singing in Maryland Opera next. Oh, darn it. Oh, I can just do that. Okay, so next month at that winery. Oh, excellent. All right, let me know when. We'll be there. We'll be there. What else do we have here? We've got one called Forza Intensity number 9, Ristretto Intensity number 11. Oh, so there's a little bit of intensity. I think I'm smelling the thing burning. Let's go over here and see what's happening. Okay, that's good. Let's turn this down just a little bit. We don't want to get too crazy. All right, what else do we have here? We've got this one, decaffeinated Ristretto. We don't want that. We don't need. Then there's also Starbucks decaffeinated espresso roast. Starbucks decaffeinated. Just decaffeinated espresso roast. Okay, we're not gonna bother with those. All right, so let's go back here. So those are the things for us to consider for selecting. If you have any suggestions as far as which one we should go for, better turn this on. And I'm also going to put this in here just for a little bit of heating. I'm going to turn that off and let the residual heat take it away. Okay, so now how to use this DeLonghi. There's a couple buttons. So there are a couple components. We've got a little tray. Right, so you can put big cups, small cups. You can put your pot in here. Oh, it just fell in, whatever's in there. And then you turn it on by hitting one of these two buttons that are on each side, right? Turn that on, and it starts to blink. And when it goes to full solid, okay, I think that's good. What do you think? That's good. Then when it goes to full solid, then it'll be ready to go. There's also got to check on the water. There's a water tank back here. That's full. I don't know what this is for. I think this is for milk. Right? Is that right? Oh yeah, you want to make milk drinks, you can froth it in that. We will not be doing that. All right, let's see. Let's see. What do we want? What should we try? Well, you know what? Since this is already open, let's do this one. Tokyo Lungo, which means lungo in Italian means long, so typically means long espresso shot. So. And you know, because it's from Tokyo, it has cherry blossoms. So that's cute. All right, let's do that. Tokyo Lungo even has the cherry blossoms on the container. I mean, the packaging, of course, with Nespresso is excellent. Very nicely done, of course. Nespresso is a very large multinational conglomerate that has incredible billions of dollars that is controlling all of the world's resources. So they've got a lot of money to make things like this. All right, we'll put that there. Let us go over here. We're going to, the light is now fully flashing. It's no longer flashing. It is now totally ready to go. Right, it's got the white, it's got the solid line. And oops, sorry guys. We're just gonna do the espresso, I think, right? So put our cup there, I'm gonna open it up. Now they make it so that it's relatively foolproof, so that it only fits in one way. It won't fit this way. So if you're not paying attention, it just will flop in and it is slotted so that it goes like that. You close it, pierce the skin, and then you hit the button. Hit the button. And here we go. Oh God, that was fast. Oh. Now it's supposed to stop, or you can stop it. I'll stop it right there because I'm getting nervous. Let's look closely at that. It's got a lot of crema going on in there. What do you think? It's kind of not bad looking. All right, look at that. That's got that nice head. Now, of course, the creme on top is very, very pale, blonde. We stopped it here, so just a little bit of blonding starting there. So I think we've stopped the espresso, or yeah, this coffee at the right moment. So, you know, not incredibly horrible, I would say. Certainly better than I expected, or, you know, better than I would expect. Oops. All right. So here it is. It's, you know, from a coffee aficionado perspective, it's not terribly exciting looking. And it's not terribly awesome. It's kind of, for espresso, it's kind of watery. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. Let's get our stuff out of here. Ooh, we got a nice temperature. Turn off. Turn off. Off. There we go. So now we've got our little plate of goodies. And yeah, we'll just... Yeah, this is good. This is good. So first off, this is the crumpet. Let's try this crumpet. Look at that crumpet. Looks pretty good. Mm. Mm-hmm. Nice, chewy, buttery, crunchy now we toasted it. Mm. Now they also gave me some jam. Oh yeah, I love the outer crunch of that. I love that. I love that, man. It's my favorite part of toasting stuff. They gave me some jam here to try. Nice color. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, chef. Thank you. So we're going to take some of this jam, which I think is fairly runny. I wonder if they make that in-house. I like my jams to be a little more thick. And also I like it to be a little bit more fruit. I like to leave the pulpiness of the fruit into it. So let's put a little bit on there. Mm. Kind of a raspberry mixed jam, I think. Right now we've got the biscuit, this cheddar biscuit. Let's break into that and see. It's kind of warm now, which is good. Ooh. Ooh. Let's tear that off a little bit. It's a little bit, it feels a little bit crisp here on the top, right? Hmm. Now, if you look at the crumb, with this cheesy biscuit, it's really, you'd think that there'd be stuff inside. It's not. I guess it's all on the top. Because it doesn't look like there's any inside. It doesn't mean that the flavor's bad. I mean, the flavor is very nice. Let's try the crumb itself. Hmm. Buttery, very nice. Now how that goes with the jam. Put that jam right here. Oh, not bad either. Okay, good. Next up, they have a chocolate chip cookie. I'm still looking to try Nespresso just once. Oh, losing it. To see how it is. Really curious. So, Nicholas, it's not bad. So, what is Nespresso really for, right? It's really about convenience. And the coffee quality, like, we've tried coffees on the show that are from different sources, and some of them are really difficult. Like, this is not a difficult coffee to drink. This is very pleasant. It's very rounded. It's very smooth. It's very neutral. It's not. It doesn't have the harsh defects that that we would find from cheaper coffees. Now, this coffee is not cheap. It's in the world of coffee. This coffee is very expensive, right? Like, I don't know how much these cost, but like it was with the K cups. And this is a stat that I remember reading a number of years ago, probably 10 years ago. The K cups are cheaper now than Nespresso. But on a per pound basis, the K cups were like $65 a pound. $65 a pound. Man, the kind of coffee the quality coffee you could buy at $65 a pound. Today, you would be able to buy extremely amazing coffees. $65 a pound. So there's not much. If you're talking value for quality of coffee, this is not the way to go. If you're talking value for convenience, I mean, how long did it take? We hit the button, it got warmed up, the water was already full, and it just is quick. Now, Nicholas is asking, is it better or worse than old dark roast espresso? Actually, it's better. This particular, what is it called here again? Japan or Tokyo Lungo is better than that. Peter says, I make cold brew, put some cream with it, and heat it and froth it up in steam. Well, yeah, I mean, that's totally an easy way to do it, right? But that does require more work than this. I mean, this is, you're just taking a pod, you're putting in this machine that you've hit. If you keep the water full in the reservoir, and you're looking for convenience, you're looking to go to work, or whatever you do in the morning, you want it to be easy. I mean, I have tried Nespresso a couple times over the years, and I've never found it necessarily to be disagreeable. There are some ones that I think that are like darker roasted, like, because Nespresso has a whole bunch of different flavors for you to try. The darker roasted ones, of course, when they get really darkly roasted, they are much more problematic or just more challenging as far as flavor. But I can't say that this particular Tokyo Lungo is necessarily terrible. Like, you know, the specialty side of me would like to be like, oh yeah, all Nespresso sucks. You should never buy it. But it's relatively pleasant. All right, let's have a try with the taste of this cookie, this chocolate chip cookie from them. Just tear that off. So they're using the couverture, as you can see. Nice cookie. Not crazy cookie, like, for example, if I compare that cookie to this cookie, this Chihu's cookie. Okay, with disclaimer, my cousin makes this, and I was involved in the development of the cookie. However, I have not been involved in the development for over 2 years now. But if I take this cookie, which is tiny cookie, versus this big monster cookie, it's nice. It's got soft textures, a lot of chocolate, but not terribly complex. But if I take something like this Chihu's. Now, it is thinner, so it's more crunchy. It's got more ingredients here to give more textural contrast. There's a little bit of, in this particular version, a little bit of coffee, macadamia nuts. There's, I think he's putting walnuts in this. There's chocolate chips. So there's a lot of stuff going on to give you complexity, where this one is a very good cookie, just not terribly complex. The only problem with this Nespresso is that it's very small. All right, last one, last piece. We got our blueberry muffin. This one, I'm a big fan of blueberry muffins in general, so I was really interested when I saw this in that case. I was like, oh, look at that. They got some blueberries, they got a little bit of glazing, they got some crumb. So let's see. It's a little bit resistive. Oh, it's a yellowish crumb. Does that mean that there's a bit of cornmeal inside? I don't know. Let's take this bite that has some blueberry on it. Oh, definitely cornmeal. And lemon. But, you know, where's the blueberry? I'm a big fan of, like, heavy blueberry. Like, see, the blueberries are here, right? Kind of reminds me of that movie Casino where De Niro's character is like, I want you to put the equal amount of blueberries in every muffin. And he's like, that'll take... It reminds you of that, you know, like you want to have that. There's hardly any blueberry. Like you have to dig. Like I'll dig down here. There's a blueberry there. If you're making blueberry muffins, here's a technique for you to take. Take your blueberry muffin. When you're mixing your batter, take your blueberries. Frozen's fine. Maybe frozen works better. Roll them in flour to coat them in flour and then add them to the mix and then fold them in. That flour coating of the blueberry fruit will actually help to suspend it in the mix. That's what we use in our kitchens. So the cornmeal gives a different dimension, a different flavor, that corny sweetness. It gives a little bit more texture to the crumb. It's very untraditional. But I kind of like the old school. It's nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. Nicely done. Now, what I want to do is I want to have a little bit of the... with the crumb, so I put that all together as one bite. I'm also running out of coffee. So what do we think about this Nespresso? Is it amazing? No. Is it serviceable? Absolutely. Is it horrible? No, it's not horrible. I'd love to tell you that it was horrible. I'd love to tell you that it was the worst coffee experience of my life. But it's not. It's just pleasantly appealing. Not terribly challenging, not off-putting, just kind of like nice, pleasant coffee to try, to enjoy for regular people, you know, to give a touch of luxury to people. Now, of course, you're going to buy this brewer, right? Like this DeLonghi, I think it's like over 200, it's like a 250. And then you've got the price of the Nespresso pods, which over a pound is, you know, probably $80. So, you know, even though you're getting, what you're getting here is convenience for, you're still spending a considerable amount of money, right? So if it's $250 for the machine, and, you know, you're making, let's say if each pod probably only holds 10 grams, so you would have to use 45 pods in order to expend the amount. That would be about a pound of coffee. And, you know, in each sleeve, there are 10 capsules. So you'd have to buy 45 of these or 40 of these in order to make that pound. I don't know how much that is, but I don't think it's going to be fairly cheap, right? And I don't know if they make pods to fill with coffee. Now they do make pods. Do you have an espresso cafe near you? I went to one. I have not. We do not have one near me. I don't think. There is a boutique close to actually at the Bethesda Mall that I've been to. It's fairly decent. The ones that are really nice though are the actual Nespresso boutiques, like the one on Presidente Mazarik Avenue in the Polanco neighborhood of Mexico City. That we went to that one many years ago actually. That was a gorgeous, like that was like full on opulent. Everybody's in suits and just looking like Michelin star like level. Now with the other things like the K-cup style, you can buy these devices that you can fill. And actually I was intending to do one of those videos this week. I just couldn't find my refillable. I bought one of those refillable K-cup things, but I have no idea where it went right now. I didn't know that I could just like push up on the screen and get this to work. Peter says, problem, different pods for different companies. They need a universal pod. They do. But, you know, of course, Green Mountain Coffee came up with the K-Cup, the Keurig, you know, many years ago and made that their standard. And then, of course, when Nespresso's not going to go and follow anybody else. They want to be able to control their market. So they created their own. And when you do that, for 10 years, for at least 10 years, you get to control your market, right? So Nespresso came out with this pod. So this is the used pod. So they came out with this, and as you can see, it perforates as thus pushes the water in, and then the coffee comes out this end. And they used this for 10 years because they controlled the patent on it. And then now they have this one that's more dome shaped, because I'm presuming they came out with that style because this ran out and everybody and their mother could start making this. Like, for example, these cats from Loire can start making these style pods. But by having the new standard that they're pushing, they've got another 10 years on that patent. So yeah, it's kind of a shell game, I think, with these companies. Plus, you know, Nespresso's got all the money in the world. They can totally afford to push out new standards and then market it heavily so that people will buy into it. Would I buy one myself? No, because like we've talked about in the past, I'm the kind of person that's not drinking coffee because I need to have a coffee to start my day. I'm drinking coffee because I'm enjoying it. I want to have that pleasurable pursuit. I want to have that hedonistic experience. But you know, my brother, he's got family, he's got work. I mean, he's not that I don't have work, but he's got to go to work by a certain time. And you know, his relationship with coffee is a bit different than mine, right? And it's true for most people. You know, most people have a relationship with coffee where they're using it to start off their day, to kickstart their day. And this kind of thing that was started by K-Cup, by Green Mountain, is something that was really designed to address that. They've been wildly successful. Like, the amount of success that they found is just unbelievable. Like, it's like, you know, they've got the Midas touch with it. Peter brings up a great point that it's terrible wasteful. I mean, the waste is incredible. The reality is, though, the humans don't care about waste. We don't care about that. We care about convenience. We care about, especially in the United States, we've really developed a system where it's really about us, our personal pleasure. Yeah, I'm railing against personal pleasure, but I've been talking all about personal pleasure when it comes to coffee. But you know, we're really about our own convenience, and we're not really worried about that. For me, I don't like to use these kind of things because I do see that the impact that it has on, or the potential impact it has on the world. So I prefer not to. Plus, you know what? I'm stuck with this. Like this, if I buy a machine like this, I'm stuck with coffee from a certain select set of manufacturers. I can't just use any coffee. I want to be able to, if I'm going to have a brewing device that I'm going to buy and use at home, I want to be able to use it for any coffee source that I deem worthy, not what somebody else tells me. And then I don't know the cost, but the cost to me would seem, I'm sure that if I went to I think these are what, $15, I think? Because my father has this too, so I have purchased some of these in the past. I just don't remember how much they were because I don't really buy them that often. Like, I think my family knows that they don't really ask me to buy these things because it's like, huh? Huh? Not that I wouldn't. I mean, I have in the past. Like, my father has a cake cut machine because, I was like, one year for Christmas, I was asking my mom, what does Dad want? She was like, you know what he really wants? He wants a cake cut machine. And I was like, I have access to some of the finest coffees in the world, and all my father wants is a cake cut machine. I was just like, well, whatever Dad wants, we got to help him out. It's all about that respect thing. Oh well. Anyway, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? You just can't escape. You can't escape it. Just gotta keep going and do what you do. All right. So, I guess that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. It's the weekend now. You doing anything interesting? I think we might go see some of my friends who are playing out in over the weekend. I don't know if we're gonna be able to catch them, but I think we're gonna try to catch them. And then tonight I got to meet up with some friends and one of my friends is in town, Cirillo McLean. He's been on the show, or he's been on the Coffee and Cigars live stream a couple times. He's in town, so we're all going to get together and, have some cigars, maybe some tequila. Yeah. All right. So thanks for tuning in. Be back again next week on Monday with more coffee Q&A. So if you have questions about coffee that you'd like to discuss or have answered, let me know. Drop them in the comments or wherever, and we'll get to it. All right, so until next time, thank you, Mom, Brian, good to see you. All you guys have a great day and a great weekend.